This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, Datta. Good evening.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, sir. May I ask about you, sir?
I am also fine.
Hello.
How was your day?
Very nice, sir.
Okay. Actually, you are saying something?
No, nothing. Yes. So let's start.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to introduce myself, sir. My name is Datta Tapghale. I have completed my graduation under the engineering stream in 2014. After completion of engineering, I had an experience of lectureship for 5 years in a polytechnic college, and as I had interest in the coding also from the engineering degree, so from the last 2.5 years I'm working as a front-end developer and started my career in IT industry. So in my work experience of approximately 2.5 years, I worked on different skills, that is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, Angular, and in these 2.5 years, um, for 2 years I worked as a UI developer, and from last 5 to 6 months I'm working on Angular, and I have completed also some part of my project which is based on the Angular, and whose name is International School Services. So as a newer for Angular, and my company has given some part of that International School Services project. So in that my role was to design the dashboard. So actually the project is like a Naukri.com, where uh, the candidates who are looking for the job at the international schools, so can create their account and search their jobs at the international schools. Also on the same platform, an admin of international school can also create his own account, and he can search the candidates who are searching for the lecturers or other staff at the international schools. So under this project, I have worked on the candidates dashboard. So in that dashboard, um, as I earlier said that I was new, but the company has given a challenging task to me in the, that is the part of that project, that was the candidate dashboard. So dashboard was having the 50 components, and which is completely based on the reactive form on the Angular. And so in this way I worked on the 50 components uh, uh, in the dashboard in that project. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, as you said, you worked on Angular project.
Yes,
So, which version you are work?
I was working on the Angular 10 version, sir.
Okay. And for backend, which language you used in your project?
Sorry, sir, I have not worked on the backend.
Okay. So, what is the difference between Angular 8 and 10?
Angular 8 as well as Angular 10 is based on the both are component based versions, and the key difference between them is the compilers. That is, in Angular 10 there is a by default compiler, that is AOT, has been included, and uh, in case of Angular 8 there was a compiler which is named as JIT, that is just in compilation. So the compilers are the key difference.
Okay. Is there any other difference in Angular 8 and 10?
The performance has been increased, sir. Some also time is also reduced there due to compilation, and also the space occupied by the Angular 10 application will be less as compared to Angular 10.
Okay.
That is, we can say build time.
Okay. Tell me, what is an Angular and why was introduced Angular?
Angular is a framework of JavaScript, which is based on the TypeScript language, and it is used for creating the single page applications, that is web applications, desktop application, or mobile applications.
Okay. What is TypeScript?
TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript, which is totally based on the data typing. So we assign the data types of the different properties or variables used in the TypeScript.
What is a single page application?
Single page application means only one HTML page will be loaded in the browser. That is indexed HTML will be loaded in the browser. But as we consider the components, so each component is having the HTML page, but it is actually a template. So we can say it is the piece or a chunk of the main indexed HTML page. So these templates will be loaded in the indexed HTML page, which is the single HTML page, and that single HTML page will be loaded in the browser. Not the other templates will directly load in the browser. So this type of process or concept is known as single page application.
So what is component and also what are the key components of Angular?
Component is basically a a decorator, and uh, which is used to attach the metadata to a TypeScript class. So in this way, Angular can identify this class is nothing but a component when we attach a component decorator uh, with the TypeScript class. So that class will act as a component, and these are components are the basic building blocks of the Angular application.
Yes, what are key components of Angular?
The key components are that is directives, decorators, components, classes, etc.
Actually, I think you are on mute.
Sorry, so then what is template and modules, services?
Yes, sir. So, yes, sir. Services are also the a part of the application, and which also plays the important role
So,
in transferring the data in different components.
so what is difference between component and directive?
The basic directive and component are both are the decorators, but the key difference between them is that there is a availability of template in the component, and the template is not available in the directive.
How can we use a component and directives?
um, as I said that the basic building blocks of Angular project is component. So we make a component by attaching a decorator, that is component decorator with a class, and also in this way we can use the component. And as we consider the directive, so some Angular have given us some inbuilt directives, that is attribute directives, structural directives, etc. And also additionally, we can also use the custom directives for our Angular project.
Okay, how can we create a custom directive?
We should use the directive. Um, we should firstly we should create a class, a TypeScript class in the TypeScript file, and after that we will have to attach the directive decorator over the class. In this way we can use the directive for our project.
What are different ways to create a component?
Component can be created manually also. We can create the components manually, as well as we have a way given by the Angular, that is CLI. By using CLI, we can create the component automatically.
Okay, so can you explain the CLI command for creating a component?
Yes, sir.
So yes.
The long form of the CLI is command line interface, and which is used to initialize, develop, and maintain our Angular project automatically. So when we run the command in our command cell, in our command cell, when we run the CLI command, so all the packages needed for our Angular project will be installed, and in this way our project will be ready for developing.
So I mean, what is command for creating a component?
Yes, firstly we will have to install the CLI command. That is, in this way we should write npm install @angular/CLI.
Yeah. Same way the command for creating a component. So what is that command? So I mean, can you explain that command?
The keywords, sir. Only
yeah, keywords means
yes.
full command. Like
yeah, we'll have to write some keywords, that is ng ng generate component and component name. So we can also write the shortly ng gc and name of the component.
And by using this command, what different type of things you can create through that command?
When we run this command, so we will have some files in our project, that is HTML file, then one TypeScript file, then app module.ts file, and then CSS file also. These 4 files will be installed in our project.
Okay. So by using these commands, you can create service. Is it possible?
Some different keywords should be used, sir, for
yes. So I mean, by using CLI, can you create service?
Yes, sir, sure.
So what is data binding?
Data binding is the actual. It is basically a communication of the data among the components, and in Angular we have different ways to bind the data among our components. That is string interpolation, then one-way data binding, that is a property binding, then by using the ng model, that is a two-way binding, event binding, etc. So these are some ways to bind the data.
Okay. Do you know dependency injection?
Yes, sir. Sure. In our
Please elaborate.
project, yes, sir. May I elaborate it?
Yeah.
Uh, uh, in our projects, we require some external data. Uh, like suppose we are having some data by API calls. So at that time, it means that our project is being depend on some external data. So uh, in that situation, we can use the service. If we suppose we don't want to use the service, so at that time we'll have to um, uh, suppose the API call, we will have to call that API in all the components to paste the data in all the components. But if we use the service in such situation, so we'll have to create a TypeScript file, and in that TypeScript file, we use the injectable TypeScript class, and with the help of TypeScript class, if we attach it injectable decorator, so it acts as a service, and from that single place, single file of TypeScript, we can input the data for our all the components. So it is the easy way to get the data from external dependency.
Okay. What is routing?
Uh, Routing is also a part of Angular, and we have a module, that is a router module in an Angular. With the help of routing module, we can uh, switch our cursor, or switch our cursor from one component to another component. Uh, uh, if the user is seeing the UI, so if he wants to go from, suppose from home component to other components, so this shifting or switching from uh, one component to another component, the Angular has provided a automatic module, so which will do this process of switching from one component to another component.
So what is purpose? What is the purpose of ng-for and ng-if?
ng-for and ng-if are the structural directives of the Angular, and these directives are used to change the layout of our DOM elements, for adding some DOM elements, or some deleting some DOM elements. So we can do all these activities by using these structural directives.
Do you know MVC architecture?
Yes, sir. It is the model view controller, and I
Okay.
think this type of model was used in Angular JS. Also in case of, I think, React JS. So before
Is
component,
Angular is a MVC framework or not?
no, sir, it is component based framework.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Describe MVC architecture.
Uh, MEC is the it is having a module, model, and then view and the controller. So as we do the equilibrium between Angular and the Angular JS, the view act as our HTML, that is UI. Then controller is I think a database backend, and mm, model is the where we build our logic of our project. So these things are um, uh, work in thank you.
Okay. What is the strict mode?
Stick mode, if we on the switch stick mode in our project, so we'll have to write our code uh, strictly following all the rules of the TypeScript. That is, uh, we'll have to uh, use the data types for the variables or properties. Then suppose we have not provided anywhere in the object comma or semicolons, etc. So all these rules should be followed strictly if we uh, keep the strict mode on.
Okay. So what are pipes in Angular?
Pipes are also the decorators, and by using the pipes, we can transform our the data on the UI one form to another form. Suppose if we want to transform a lowercase string into the uppercase, so in that case we can use the inbuilt pipe that is uppercase. So in this way we can transform our data. We give the different form for that data by using the pipes.
What is parameterized pipe?
May you please elaborate your question, sir?
So what is parameterized pipe? So the pipe that we need to pass any parameter. Is there any pipes?
Sorry, sir, I don't have idea about that.
What is pipe transform?
Pipe transform is an interface which should be implemented while making the class for custom pipe.
Okay.
So what are observables?
Observables are this. It is the continuous stream of data which returns the. Sorry. Yes. Observables are used for handling the asynchronous operations of the JavaScript. So observables can emit multiple events or multiple results for a specific interval of time.
So what is HTTP client and its benefits? Can you explain?
May you please repeat the question, sir?
What is HTTP client and its benefits?
Sorry, sir. Don't have idea.
Okay. So did you have any what we sorry.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Suppose I want to store data in a local storage in encrypted format. So how can I achieve in Angular?
Can you please repeat, sir?
Suppose I want to store a data in a local storage
Yes, sir.
in an encrypted format. Do you know encrypted format?
No, sir.
It is like a string format.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, means you want to save any a password or any username, but but when we store in our local storage or system storage, it should be in encrypted format,
Yes, sir. Yes.
not same like we store. So
Yes, sir.
in Angular there is a one method for that.
Yes, sir.
So do you know that?
Uh, local storage dot stringify.
No, I want that in an encrypted format.
Sorry, sir, don't have idea.
Okay. Do you know view encapsulation?
No, sir. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Do you know lifecycle hooks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me some lifecycle hooks and their definition.
Uh, life cycle hooks, that is ng on init, ng on destroy, ng on changes. These are the life cycle hooks. And uh, for controlling the behavior of the components of our project, we can use these life cycle hooks. Suppose we have a observable, and when we click on some parameter, some link on the UI, then suppose we want to initialize a observable. At that time, we write the code in ng on init, this life cycle. And if we want to destroy this components behavior after going on the another link, so at that time we write the code and unsubscribe that observable by using the lifecycle hook, that is ng on destroy. So in this way, we can use the lifecycle hooks for controlling the behavior of our components.
Okay.
So what is JSON? Do you know JSON?
Yes, sir.
And yes, you can tell me what is JSON and its common operation that we use in JavaScript. And
Yes, sir. JSON is a text format. We use that JSON format to transfer the data over the network. It means that if we want to transfer data from browser side to server side, then we should pass this data in form of JSON format. And also vice versa, we can if we want to um transfer the data from server to browser, that is to client. Uh, so there is a better way to transfer the data in the JSON format. Actually, this is the stringified mode or text format.
so can you explain us Ajax call?
Under the Ajax, we make the HTTP calls and request the resources from our servers to get the data.
So can you give us a standard syntax or any syntax that you know? You can share your screen and just explain us a method how
Yes,
you can call a Ajax.
yeah, I can explain
You
the
can,
HAPS.
yeah. If you have any dummy API, then you can just show us by using that API. Or if you
I have.
don't have any
I will
API,
have
then you
to.
can just write a method in any means any in JavaScript or
So
in Angular, whatever language do you want to use.
I will have to search the API I had, but
No, if you don't have any API, then you can just explain us a method
yes, sir.
how
Yes.
you
By
can
taking
proceed.
some fake URL.
Okay.
So, yes.
or else you can just open a notepad and just show
Yes,
us.
sir, yes,
how.
it is open.
Yeah.
So this is the way. So here we will get our data. Suppose it is in the form of array. So in RESP, that is a response uh, argument or parameter, we will get our data in this way. So we can manipulate that data here. So in this then method.
What is dot then? I didn't get that. This dot then.
Yes, sir. So that is fetch API, which has been given by the HTML5. So it returns the promise, and when we get the promise from any method, so for using that promise, we have to utilize or consume that promise by using the then method. So here, firstly, in case of fetch API, we have for utilization or consuming that promise, we have used here JSON method on the parameter of the first then method, and after that, for getting that data for manipulation for our project, we have again it is consumed by using the then method, and in this method, the parameter will receive the data from the this URL.
Can you do the same call in a JavaScript?
Yes, sir.
So in JavaScript, what you can use instead of this fetch and dot then? Is there any specific methods? And is there any we can say?
So these are the also accessible methods in the JavaScript, sir.
Suppose I want to add some method name and some arrays, some other data, some headers in that fetch API call. So how can we add?
Externally, sir. So
Yeah.
we will get the data from this URL.
Okay. No, but for that we need to if suppose you want to post uh, some uh, some method, you suppose if you want to post something and to the your backend side, okay,
Yes, sir.
or server side, then you have to write the method name.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes.
have to give some headers.
Yes,
You
sir.
have to give some other data
Yes, sir.
to
Yes.
the backend side. So how can you achieve using fetch?
Yes, sir. We have a post method for posting the data, that is from sending the data from our client side to the server.
Okay.
So, so we can
So how
use
can you
here.
change? Okay. What is the first argument of fetch?
Sorry, sir. It is the base URL, sir.
Yeah. So can you write post there?
No, sir. We'll have to write in the another argument, and which will be a object
Okay.
like this. Yes.
Okay.
What are the different HTTP status codes? Did you know?
Sorry, sir.
Different HTTP status codes.
Uh,
Sorry.
yes, sir.
Okay. No problem.
Yes.
Do you think it is a right syntax you written or anything missing there?
Uh, some another key values should be entered in the second argument, that is object, that is headers and
No. Okay. No, that is not an issue.
yes, sir.
I'm asking about line number 9 to 14.
Yes, sir. Surely it is correct.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Do we have any another method to call a Ajax, means call any JSON file from any specific server? Do you know any other methods?
Uh, uh,
Did you get my point?
yes, sir. HTTP call also. XML HTTP.
Yeah. So can you elaborate that syntax?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So the send method, the send method which is called in line number 19, is it yeah, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. So you have used before the open. Is it fine if we use
No,
it before open?
no, sir. It was wrong.
Okay. So yeah. So explain me what is first class function?
Uh, First class function are the functions which can be stored as values. So here I have in the line number 1, console.log, this function has been stored in the CL variable. So we can say this function as a first class function.
Okay. So what is higher order function?
Higher order functions are the functions which accept the another functions as its argument. For example, for each, filter, map, reduce, etc. Also, we have a set timeout method is also a higher order function.
Okay. So what is pure function?
Sorry, sir.
Pure function. Pure.
Yes, sir. Pure functions are the functions which are sure to be pure when it satisfies some conditions or 3 conditions. That is, that function should return something. That function should not depend on the external factors or external declarations, and it should give the same output for the same inputs. So when a function satisfy all these 3 conditions, so that function is called as a pure function.
Okay. So the let keyword that you have used in your code. So what is purpose of that let keyword?
From ES6, there is alternative for the var keyword, that is let and const. So by using the let, we cannot redeclare that variable when we use the let with that, and also let keyword can create the block scope, which is not possible in case of var keyword.
Okay. So what is the purpose of so what is the purpose of let and var? Miss, can you differentiate let and var?
Yes, sir. By using the var keyword, we can uh, redeclare and reassign the variables by using the var keyword. But in case of let, we can uh, reassign the value to that variable with let, but we cannot redeclare that variable if we use the let with that variable. And
So
it
what is
var keyword cannot create the block scope, and let keyword create the block scope.
so what is hoisting? Hoisting.
Hoisting is the shifting of all the declarations in our page to the top of the page or scope. So the variables declared with the let var will be shifted to the top of the scope. So this process or concept is known as hoisting.
Okay. Can we use any JavaScript's predefined keyword as a variable name?
Uh, Variable name, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We can use the variables in different formats. That is the combination of string, number, um, uh, also use some special characters also for creating variables.
My question is, can we use predefined 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 keywords like suppose late or if these kind of predefined keywords, can you use those as a variable name?
No, sir.
So suppose where equals to where if equals to
No, sir. We
like
cannot
this.
use the predefined keywords as a variable names.
Why we need a compilation process?
Uh, we need the compilation for our project. There are some reasons because we are in Angular. Angular is totally based on the TypeScript, which is the superset of JavaScript. So the browser cannot load the TypeScript code, and that's why we need to compile this TypeScript code into the JavaScript, and after that JavaScript code will be loaded or run in the browser, and it will show the result. Also, compilation is needed for our if we use SAS file in our project. So SAS file also should be compiled or transfer converted into the CSS style sheet. So that's why we need this compilation process.
Okay. What do you know about the npm packages?
Uh, Node.js have provided some packages for our projects. Actually, to do the Node package manager, and we have Angular JSON file, package.json file, package log.json file. So these are the some files which are required to and which are available for supporting our project.
Okay. How are animation done in Angular?
Sorry, sir, I don't have idea.
Okay, no problem. So as you said, there is a one package.json file in Angular, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is that package.json file?
Uh, Package.json file contains the data on which our project depends. Uh, the project dependencies are declared in the package.json file. That is, suppose our files is supported by the Bootstrap, so it is declared in that package.json file. After some extra libraries if we needed, so that type of files are declared and registered in the package.json file.
Okay. Then what is the difference between package.json and package log.json?
Package log JSON file provide the some environments to our project. Suppose in the package.json file we have the old models of some files, so automatically package.json file will access the latest versions of that files automatically. So this is the main function of the package.json file.
What are the case types in Angular?
Case type, sir?
Yeah,
Sorry, sir.
case types means like camel case.
Case type, sir? Yes.
Yeah. Do you know?
No, sir.
Okay. What is the purpose of async pipes?
I don't have detailed idea about that, but async pipes async pipe are the for handling the asynchronous events of the JavaScript or Angular.
So what happens if I import same module twice?
No, sir, sorry.
Do you get my question?
Yes, sir, got, but I don't have idea about that.
Okay.
Can we add two or more pipes?
Yes, sir. We can add the custom pipes also with the and along with the inbuilt pipes.
So how can we use more pipes?
We'll have to register in the declarations of the app module.ts file. If we use the inbuilt pipes given by the Angular, so we don't need to register such uh, in app module.ts file. But when we use the custom pipes along with these pipes, so we'll have to attach a decorator.
No. Suppose there is a one input, and on that input I want 2-3 pipes. I want to use 2-3 pipes. Okay, two
Yes, sir.
pipes. So how can I use?
In the same way, we can add the vertical bar, then use the one pipe, then again a vertical bar, and again we can use the pipe in this way. But in this
Can
case,
you write that syntax?
yes, sir. I have supposed here that I have a property which has been declared in the TypeScript file.
Okay.
Suppose it is the text, and this text is having a data type string in a TypeScript file, and it has some data in case of string. So I will use this in
Suppose
HTML
you are
file.
giving that pipe. Suppose you are giving that pipe to one input element.
So in this way we can use the multiple pipes, but in this case the second pipe will overcome the result of the first one. So here we will get the our string totally lowercase. So it will overcome to this uppercase pipe.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You are saying that this text is a random text you are using in p tag.
Yes, sir. Dynamic.
And uppercase and lowercase are the two pipes, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, do you think it is a right syntax?
Yes, sir. Sure. Correct.
I think you are missing something.
No, sir. I think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, you are declaring text in a curly bracket, right?
Yes, sir.
And you are giving pipe in that curly bracket only.
Yes, sir. These are the two curly brackets in which so like these two brackets are there, and we have written this code here.
Yeah, but where you can call pipes? inside the HTML tag or inside uh, the greater than symbol. Am I right, Abhi? So where we need
No,
to use?
I think this is
it will
correct,
give
sir.
an error, Datta,
Yes, sir.
because it will give an error because
Yes.
you are writing your text as well as your pipes in a same curly bracket.
Okay, sir.
Uh, Your text should be outside that curly bracket. Okay, no problem.
So what is Angular material?
Angular material is the library of Angular, sir. We can use that library for creating our projects.
What is ng upgrade?
Sorry, sir. Don't have idea.
So what are the differences of various versions of Angular?
The first version of the Angular was named as Angular JS, and after Angular JS, there is a new version, second version, that is Angular 2.0. And after that, after 6 months or 1 year, the versions of the Angular were released, and the current version is the Angular 14. I think it is not completely stable right now.
Okay, so can you tell me the CLI command can be by using CLI command, can you know the CLI version? So do you know the specific command for
Or what, sir?
getting a CLI version that you have installed in your PC?
So in my project, as I'm working on Angular 10, for installing CLI, I just used the keywords, that is npm install @angular/CLI.
No, my question is how you'll suppose you need to know a version of CLI that is installed in your PC.
Yes.
So how you can using CLI command?
No, sir, not done that thing.
Okay, so that you can just type ng double dash and version or single dash and v. You will know the
repeat, sir?
version of CLI.
May you please repeat?
ng space double dash version or ng single dash v. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Datta, do you know palindrome?
Palindrome. Palindrome. Yes, sir.
Okay, what is palindrome?
Palindrome is a number, and it will be a same number when we read it from left to right or right to left.
Yeah. So write one function for me to check the given string name is a palindrome or not.
String name, sir.
Yeah. You can take any example. Right.
Yes.
Did you miss anything? No, I mean in terms of syntax. Okay, that's fine. Uh, so suppose in line number 32, if we put any other string, and so without using this specific reverse function,
Yes, sir.
so you can explain us this, or you can write that code without using the reverse function. The same palindrome logic, but without using reverse function.
Okay, sir.
Is how you can reverse that specific string without using reverse method.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Right now, I am not remembering it.
Simple, just look it up, that specific string. Okay, fine. Yes, Adi, you can ask any questions.
Okay, Datta. Tell me why we hire you.
Sir, from last 2.5 years, I'm working on these uh, web development skills, that is front end developing. So in this journey, I have worked on different projects, and I can say here that I'm perfect in UI also, as a UI developer. But from last 6 months, I have been working on Angular projects also. So uh, as we know that an employee is always an asset for an organization, but a most skillful person can become a most valuable asset for that organization. So I can say here confidently that uh, I have learned all these skills at my own level, with the detailness, and also I have experience on working all these skills. So I can definitely become for your organization as an asset. So uh, it will be better for our organization. So your organization may think for hiring me, sir.
So why you work for our organization?
Uh, Sorry, sir.
Uh, I am asking, why do you want to work for our company?
Uh, Actually, I have complete in our organization. We have completed our project, and from 1 to 2 months, we are just working on the bugs on that in that project, and then that's and also I have searched on the internet about your organization, and I found that my skills are nicely or matching with your requirement. So that's why I would like to also I have read the environment of your organization on the internet. So I would like to work in your company if you hire me.
Okay, so rate yourself in the scale of 1 to 10. in the JavaScript?
In JavaScript, I will give myself 8, sir.
In Angular?
Uh, Angular, right now, I will give only 6 in Angular, because I just worked on the some part of the Angular in last 6 months. So in the future, I will definitely will give myself a rating as 8, sir.
Okay.
So what is
So
your
where do you see yourself in next 5 years?
Sorry, sir.
Where do you see yourself in next 5 years?
Uh, in next 5 years, I will be updating myself, and I will study all the skills which are required for making the web applications dynamically, and uh, in this way, I would like to become an expert in front end development, sir.
so what is your favorite programming language and why?
My favorite programming language is Angular, sir.
Okay, and why?
Because Angular is a full-fledged framework of JavaScript, sir, and we don't need any external dependency in our project. So because already there are all the requirements or files are available in the Angular itself, sir.
So can it yes. So can it differentiate smart work and hard work?
Smart work is the result of the hard work, sir. When one hard work anything, so after practicing all these and by doing the hard work continuously, one can become a smart worker on a specific field.
Okay. So thank you, Datta, for joining,
Thank you so much.
and
Nice to
best of luck for your future as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
thanks.